We're the Smiths, a homeschooling family who loves to travel every chance we get, and we are on our most ambitious trip yet, a 5-week trip around Southern Europe. And we're not traveling alone. I brought my younger brother, who is our Manny, just to help us out with our 4 boys. Our first city that we arrived in is Madrid. So if you're going to Madrid, then you must visit one of the famous art museums. There are 3 main museums, and you can buy a pass to get into all 3. Kids are free, which is a major bonus since we have 5 kids under the age of 18, so we just had to buy passes for my husband and I. The first one we went to was the Thyssen-Bornemisza. It is a nice mixture of classic and modern art. There was George O'Keeffe, Picasso, Rodin, and Copley. The next one we went to is the most famous, the Prada Museum. There was a long line to get in both days we walked by, but it wasn't as busy on Monday as it was on Sunday, so I'd recommend going on a weekday. I'd also not recommend bringing a backpack if you can. The line to check bags was longer than the line just to get in. There was a lot to see here. Raphael, Goya, Velázquez. We just wandered around looking at everything and soaking it all in. However, you can get tours, especially for kids or families, and I kind of wished we'd pay the extra cost because I think the kids would have enjoyed it a lot more. Regardless, we were in there for 2 or more hours before the kids got tired. Finally, the Reina Sofia is the modern art museum. Aaron and the boys really liked modern art, so they enjoyed this museum a lot, especially seeing Picasso's Guernica and some of Salvador Dali's famous pieces. There are so many cool day trips you can take around Madrid: Toledo, Segovia, and vintage train excursions. We only had 1 day to visit something out of the city, so we decided to visit our friends in Alcala de Anares. Cervantes' birthplace is there, as well as a really old downtown and university that is on the UNESCO list. We bought some nuts from a convent. The nuns were cloistered, so we did the exchange through this little turnstile. The boys thought that was really cool, and the almonds were delicious. Our last day, we took a tour of the Palacio Real, or the Royal Palace. And let me tell you, this palace did not disappoint. I did not know it is the largest palace in Europe, and we could not believe the decadence that each room was decorated. Sawyer was definitely the most interested, and he's 10. The 2 younger boys, they struggled to keep up with the tour guide or got distracted by little things like not being able to ride in the stroller. But at the end of the day, during our journal time, they remembered a lot more than I realized. However, I think that if I would do it again, I would probably leave the younger kids at home and just take my older. We quickly visited the Placa de Mayor, a place where lots of public trials happened during the Spanish Inquisition. And right now it is more of a market and a place where you can go and eat and sit and enjoy the sunshine. And our last place to visit was the Parque Retiro. It was a perfectly warm day, which was a nice change from the cold, windy weather that we had the previous 3 days. It was nice for the boys to play in nature. They found some geocaches and identified some new plants and birds, including black swans, which were beautiful. Besides the huge greenhouse, which was closed, I was so sad. It was mostly just like any other city park. There were some playgrounds, some paths, and some fountains. As for food, we tried so many new things. Spain is famous for its ham, especially jamón ibérica. We ate a lot of that and tried pig ears for the first time. And they were okay. The texture of the cartilage was hard to get past. We also ate a lot of calamari and churros and chocolate, which we highly recommend. The hot chocolate is literally melted chocolate, so don't expect the drinkable kind that we have in the US. We only ate out at a restaurant once a day. The rest of our meals we bought groceries and prepared at home, and we enjoyed trying new brands and foods that we can't get in the US. We ended up getting an Airbnb right downtown because with our big group, it's almost impossible and very expensive to get Ubers for all of us. It ended up extremely convenient because we could quickly walk back for a siesta in the afternoon, especially for Desmond who needs a nap, and for the boys, they would get tired and need a rest. The apartment was one of the older ones with high ceilings and beautiful exterior, and I loved it. The boys brought Legos and drawing materials for entertainment in the evenings. We've found it's nice to schedule in a rest day, or at least a half day, where the kids can just play and relax at the apartment. We average 5 to 7 miles of walking a day, so their poor little legs needed a rest once every few days. And after all of that adventuring in Madrid, we are on to our next destination, and that will be a surprise. So check in for the next video to see where we go.